Welcome to this For Whoever reading. If you were drawn in by the title of this video, then this message may be all that much more meaningful for you to receive at this time. So welcome in. Let's jump in and see what messages want to come through. Messages for whoever needs to receive this. I have moon, intuition, subconscious emotions, fear, deceit, and things are not as they seem. Okay, so there might be a little bit of some hidden energies here or hidden emotions that maybe things are looking a little bit illusionary where they're not exactly what they seem to be. Okay, let's go a little bit further into this reading so I can gain clarity on exactly what's happening here. I have relaxation and activation. Okay, so maybe things are going a little bit good, and maybe you're feeling a little bit uncomfortable because it's a little too good, perhaps. Okay, so this can also be an indication of the fact that if things are feeling a bit confusing, a little bit uneasy, and you're not really sure exactly what's happening or where to go from here, is that the best solution is to take time out to kind of get relaxed, get calm, so that things can become a little more clear here. Okay. I have coming out here the aristocrat. Okay, this is usually my card telling me that this is a little bit of a leadership role. Okay, so the aristocrat here is a leader energy, and this is telling me here that you might be in a state where you're not really sure exactly if you are in a leadership role, if you should step into a leadership role, or if you just need to kind of take charge of a situation, even though it seems a little bit foggy right now. Okay. I have aspire to higher knowledge and wisdom. Okay, so this goes along with that aristocrat. This can even be applicable in other areas. This can be you contemplating whether you should go back to school or whether you should go back and receive a certification in something and have a whole new change in maybe your career or your direction in life. And maybe this is evoking a little bit of uncertainty in you. Okay, so here it's telling me that you're being guided and nudged to reach for the stars and go in the direction that you most desire to go. You may be getting caught up a little bit in the mind, and it's evoking up some unwanted emotions at this time, which is then confusing you a little bit because you're like, well, this feels wrong, so I probably shouldn't be doing this. And then you begin to kind of pivot in and out of questioning what you should actually be doing, because one minute it feels right, one minute it feels wrong, and you don't really need to, you don't really know what to do with that. So you're kind of going from head to heart, head to heart, head to heart. And so what they're trying to say here is, if you really kind of take time to get quiet and get still, you're going to tap into that heart-centered energy, and you're really going to get some clarity for sure on what to do, because it's going to feel good for you. It's not going to evoke confusion in you. It's not going to evoke negative thoughts and thinking, and it's going to feel good and calm and smooth. Okay, so that's how you're going to know the difference between whether you're in your head or in your heart center here. Let's go further into this with some tarot and see if we can get some more details on the situation. Let's look at the overall energy of the situation. Ooh, that one jumped out. I have the Four of Wands here as the overall energy here. Okay, so maybe you're in a place where you're feeling really stable and calm and things are really good for you. Okay, and maybe this is evoking a little bit of feelings of instability for you, or maybe at the core of this here is that things are steady and stable at home or once were, and now you're finding yourself wanting to do something new. Okay, maybe you've been doing the same thing for a long time. Maybe you've just been someone who's been a stay-at-home parent, and now you're wanting to go back into the workforce. Maybe your kids are going to be starting school this coming year, and are just trying to find your place and what you should do with that time. Okay, so either way here, there is a beautiful energy of stability, but something is evoking a little bit of unstable emotions in you that might be getting you a little bit confused about what direction to take and what you should do. Let's go further into this, and then I can get you a little more clarity. Let's take a look at the recent past. The recent past, I have the Hierophant. Okay. So again, this is telling me there is a little bit of a stability here in this energy. Okay. I have the Lovers here at the bottom of the deck. So it is telling me is that maybe you have a family and a home and maybe even children or even just, a spouse, and you've built a life together and now you're feeling solid and stable. And now it's time to kind of say, all right, well, what's next? Okay. We've already achieved some of our goals so far and things are stable and steady, but now it's time to start thinking about what's next. Okay. So here in the recent past, it looks like you were very concentrated on your commitments of the past. Okay. Whatever that may be to children, to your spouse, to your partner, to, volunteer work. This could be even something that you're committed to in your, church or your religion, whatever it is that you've been highly committed to. It's very indicative of the past that you were very, very devout and committed to, what it is you were taking on. Okay. And took it very seriously. Let's take a look at the present energy here. Present energy here is the Ace of Swords. Okay, so there is a moment of clarity here, a moment of truth of saying, this is exactly what I want to do. Okay, you already know the truth. And so this clarity is trying to hit you hard. And so, like I said, sometimes when we even know, very clearly what we want to do, ideally, our mind can play a little bit of tricks on us, okay? Especially with the stable energy here. This to me looks like a very committed relationship, committed family, committed to something, okay? And so when you're contemplating doing something new or what is next, maybe stepping outside of your comfort zone of what you've done, on the daily for a long time, it can evoke a lot of confusion in you, okay? So it can, again, make you kind of get into this uncomfortable energy of, what do I do? And so even though you know the truth deep down inside, you can play into a little bit of the what ifs or should I's. Okay. So here in this present energy, there is a clarity that just needs to be recognized and seen. And it's going to be, a lot more clear the more still you get in your mind and your heart and your being, so that, these things become much more apparent to you. Okay. So there's a clarity here trying to come through, or it has already come through, that you need to acknowledge as being here in what direction you're going to go, because you already know what this is with this energy that's coming out here. Okay. This is something that's not new to you. You already know what it is you want to do. You're just kind of wondering if you should. Okay. Let's take a look at the near future. Near future, please. I have the Empress coming out here in the near future. So there's clearly something that is really wanting to be coming forth from you, okay? The Empress is a beautiful energy of someone who is a very creative person. Now, it doesn't necessarily have to be creative like we think art automatically, okay? This could be anything like that. This could be someone who wants to bring forth, creative endeavors, a new project, wants to start a new business, wants to have a little side hustle, or, wants to really love and nurture themselves for once because they've been so focused on their other commitments. This can be an energy here in the near future of just saying that there is something that you have already planted a seed with, you already have wanted and desired and longed for. And now it's becoming very clear that now is the time for this to come forth. So with the Empress energy playing out in the near future, things are ready to come forth. Okay. So this is an energy of saying, hey, you're correct. This is exactly what you want. This is exactly what's ready to come forth. And now you need to bring it forth because it's okay. So whatever it is that you're doubting or questioning or getting confused about, no need to be there anymore. This clarity is telling you, hey, it's time. So you're on the right track here, okay? And if you didn't already know this reading for you, you're here because this is your validation of saying whatever it is that you've been longing to create, longing to do is in alignment with your highest good. And it is something you're meant to do and meant to bring forward, and it is ready, okay? So let's take a look at what advice you have. Advice for this situation, please. I have the Lovers card making its appearance here that was lingering on the bottom of the deck, okay? So this may even be you entering into a very significant relationship, okay? This may even be, getting married or taking it to the next step, to the next level. This may even be just a recommitment of your vows. This may be just some kind of significant position here that is causing you to need to make a decision from the heart, okay? With the Lovers comes out as your advice, it's trying to say that there's something that's very heart aligned that you already know rings true to you, that you already know is ready to take action on. Okay. So instead of getting confused, maybe start to just get excited. Okay. Because you already know that you want to bring this forth. You already know that you want this to come together. And this is saying, do it. Okay. Let's take a look at what you don't see coming, or maybe what's hidden here, so that you can gain some better clarity on the situation in case it's, that little bit of confusion is still there. What's hidden? All right. I have the Ace of Cups and the Sun. Okay. So, like I was saying before with the Lovers card coming out, if it wasn't already obvious enough, this is indicative of the fact that whatever you are aligning with is very heart centered, heart based, and it is something that you have longed and desired to do and would deem to be very emotionally fulfilling and positive in your life. So you're not really seeing this as clearly as you should. Okay. So this may even be with the Empress energy here and the Lovers and this Ace of Cups and other things coming out, is that you may have already entered into a very committed relationship and you've established a foundation here. You may be entering into a realm where maybe you have just become engaged and now you're wondering if you should get married and take it to the next step, and you're just comfortable with this and evoked a little bit of unsettled feelings with you to say, am I ready to be committed? Am I ready to be married? Am I capable of seeing this through and doing it in a way that is good for both of us? Or this may have even been a significant step that you've already been married or already up with a partnership and you've been established for some time and you guys are feeling a need to, a desire to fulfill something that you both have been longing for, where you're wanting to go into, maybe bringing a child into the world. Okay. So sometimes, again, all of these very significant steps, although they're very exciting, can evoke a lot of emotional turmoil in us where we're like, what do I do? Do I want to do this? Am I capable of doing this? Can I, up my game and really meet the needs of this situation and really commit to this? And so, this might be a lot of things that are stirring within you. Okay. But you're going to be able to put this situation exactly where it applies, because this can be relative in many situations here, as you've seen me when I throw out a couple of, possibilities of what this could be here. Okay. Apply it to your situation accordingly. And, always, use discretion when you're, watching any reading, especially, one that has to do with very significant decisions in your life. But nonetheless, here, this is telling me here that this is something very in alignment, something that you should actually be excited for, something that you are ready for. But deep down inside, you already know this. Okay. So let's take a look at what you don't see coming in the coming weeks. What don't you see coming in the coming weeks? I have the 10 of Swords coming in the coming weeks. Okay. So the 10 of Swords here is telling me that there's a finality to the past. So whatever it is here that you've been through in the past, you are now beyond it. Okay. With the 10 of Swords, it is an ending of an era. Okay. And it's a really, really, really tough era. And this might be why you're feeling a bit of angst and anxiety when you're transitioning into this new, chapter in life. Okay. So you may have been really hurt in the past or been through a really significant, challenging life so far, or all the way into the past. And so you may be, a little bit hesitant because you just don't really know if things are going to play out, positively for you, if you're going to get hurt again. And you may be a bit hesitant and shy about, moving forward with things and getting your hopes up because maybe you've been let down before. Okay. But this is telling me here that, it's okay to take this risk, and it's okay because that era of that hurt and that pain and that, not being able to trust what's happening or being hurt by other people and situations is long gone. And now you can see the sun on the horizon. Okay. So you're going to be able to see that there is a new dawn to your new day here, and things of the past are going to be able to be let go over the coming weeks. And you're going to be able to move forward into this new chapter in this new direction that you already are excited and deeply desire to do. Okay. So this is telling me here that the future looks bright. And if you just kind of get calmed and settled, you're going to be able to already tap into that heart energy and know exactly what the answer is and know what to do. Okay. So I hope you can move forward confidently knowing you're right on track. You already know what you want and desire. You're ready for this new chapter, and the past will not necessarily repeat itself. So don't live in fear, live in hope. So I hope you found this reading to be helpful. And until I see you again, take care.